So I joined the Independent in July 1986, and my first role was to be a temporary secretary in the classified ad department. But the route to getting into the door in the first place was that I'd done a course at Oxford Poly, and I hadn't been invited back to the third year of the course, which meant that I had another 2 years to kill. And so I did a secretarial course and tried to get my typing speed up. And they offered me two jobs. One was in the West End, and the other was in the City Road or the City typing personal columns. And it just so happened that that was 10 pence more an hour. So I rocked and rolled up to City, well, as it was then, 40 City Road, and sat down at my desk. Everybody was really busy around me. I was working for the secretary to Sheila Crofts, who was the first classified ad director. And after a couple of days, I can remember saying to Julia, I can see everybody's really busy around me, but what are they doing? And to be fair to her, I don't think she knew either, because really the only people on our floor at that time were the display sales team. And they were in their offices in the morning, but they would go out at lunchtime and they'd come back and they, again, would look very busy, but none of us really knew what they would be doing. And time went on, and it became very obvious to me that this was a really exciting place to be. And obviously, I found out that we were planning on a launch of a new national newspaper. And my two bosses were Sheila Crofts and also Dee Stevens, who was Adrian O'Neill's PA. And Dee ran the floor in terms of secretarial support. And she became my most important ally, because I needed to prove to her that I wanted to stay at the Independent for as long as they would have me. And as luck would have it, the job spec for the first telephone sales job landed on my desk, and all it required was a bright telephone manner, bright, enthusiastic, and the salary was £9,500, and I could not believe it. This was going to mean that I could move out of a shared room into a flat on the Fulham Road with friends, and I thought this was the best thing. There were a number of stupid things I did in my first couple of weeks. Nobody told me that the photocopier had a collate function. So I ended up lining up all the media packs to photocopy on the floor and then stapled them all. That wasn't the only stupid thing I did, but I do remember that being kind of something I'd want to hide. It was 3 or 4 weeks before my 21st birthday when I bumped into someone who was going to become one of my best friends, and that was Donna Pepper. She was the secretary to Rog McMenemy in the circulation department, and we met because the ground floor office was converted into a canteen, and I'd had cider house rules on my tray going into lunch, knowing that I couldn't really talk to anyone because I didn't know anybody, and it was her favorite book, and we got chatting. And since then, we became flatmates. She became godparent to my firstborn, and we've known each other for 30 years. Her career went through the marketing department. It went through Elkin Allen in the entertainment's listing section, followed by Ed Poltney, who was in syndication. So I really hope that she will contribute some stories, because, again, she knows quite a lot more people from the launch days.